Hi, wake up.
I'm here. You know, I was just saying, if the link has gone up again yet for the chat, it ain't.
A what?
You know the link for him to click on to give StreamYard permission.
Is it not working?
No.
Oh, shucks. I will remind him. Well, hello. And I'm going to say, welcome to another night of Shadow Whispers in the Night.
Oh.
We work all the time and we don't sleep.
Nope, that's for sure.
No rest for the wicked. I must be really bad.
You and me both.
So, what's the crack with that? How are you keeping? We've got 2 fantastic guests on tonight.
Yes, looking forward to this. And yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Tired, like you, but good. But when we're tired, it's when the trouble starts.
Yes, when we're tired, it's you get me into trouble. Actually, you do.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the guests that we have on tonight. We have Nando and Sarah from Portal to the Paranormal on tonight.
Ooh.
Love them. Love the way they work. Hopefully, I'll try and get some videos on. I hope so. But I'm going to give a little readout of the bio of them. So Nando and Sarah Desario. I hope I said that right. Did I say it right? No. Oh, you're going to correct me. I can see in the background you're going to correct me. It's okay. They're part of a great team called Portal to the Paranormal. Both Nando and Sarah have witnessed paranormal experiences, which has sparked a true passion for the paranormal field. Sarah has been a paranormal investigator since 2015, and Nando has begun his journey as an investigator in 2021. I'm trying to think what year are we in now. Oh yeah, okay. Jeez, that's how tired I am. I'm thinking what year are we in now. So I'm going to bring the guys on. In 3, 2, 1. I'm joking. Nando.
Hi. Evening.
Good evening. I was great. I said to myself, "Will I do it?" No, I won't. Yes, I will.
Lovely to see you.
You too. How are y'all getting on? How are you feeling?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, good. A lot better. Yeah, I haven't been very well the last couple of weeks, but yeah, getting there.
Good. Well, thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming on. And look who we have in the house. Dora, hold on.
Yeah.
We have Brian. Brian's in the house. So thank you for coming on. Let's have fun. Let's talk paranormal.
Oh yes.
Locations, experiences, and anything else you want to talk about. Tracy, would you start off, my love?
Oh, where should we start? So,
be nice.
Okay. So, tell us more about you, how you started. I'll beat her to it.
Well, I'm quite, I started the paranormal journey in 2021. Dan Winter, who owns Portal to the Paranormal, presented me with an opportunity to be part of the team. At first, it was more of a background role, just doing like admin stuff for them, finding locations. And then I started going on the locations, doing the investigations, and it's just sort of sparked from there. And some of the stuff that we've picked up along the way has been absolutely amazing. And, I've learned so much from these guys, and now we're doing a lot of investigations across Hampshire. And yeah, it's just gone from there for me. So for me, it's quite a new thing. And it's been great.
Yeah, cool.
I saw a ghost.
You saw a ghost?
I saw a ghost. A full-on apparition, a full-on MFG, just sit there. My son was 3 months old. I was renting a bungalow. He was in his Moses basket, and there was a woman at the end of my bed, squatting, poking me with her finger, looking at me, and then she disappeared. And it was terrifying. I remember going around that bungalow that I rented, saying, "Please do not do that again. This is your home." And then you bought me a ghost hunt, didn't you? Back in 2015 for a present. I think it was Fort Whitley, actually, which you did yesterday. And that was it. I had the bug. I started watching all these. I was always a big fan of Most Haunted. God.
Wasn't we all when we first started?
We all were, wasn't we? And I think there was a TV program on as well that we watched. Oh, what was it called? Ghost Watch. On Halloween it come on, and it terrified me. And it's had me sort of, all about the paranormal ever since then. So yeah.
Did we have this conversation about that ghost watch before?
Very old. It was back in the 90s, I think.
Yeah.
And everyone thought it was real, didn't they?
That's right.
Had that
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. It was a setup, wasn't it? It was
It was.
Yeah.
The call-ins were real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was that when there was a live audience.
Yeah, and the guy that did the This Is Your Life was in it. So you assume, well, if he's in it, it must be real.
Yeah.
What's his name? Do you remember?
Oh,
you remember there's a bit of an age gap between us, so I don't remember that far back.
I'm 7 years older than that.
Well,
Richard Ball.
if you're old, you're ancient.
I was going to say not too young to be put off the lap over the lap and
Sorry.
Was that Brian? I forced Nando to stand in front of the camera when I was there.
Yeah, like I said, when I got into this, I was more like I would stand in the background, and I like filming stuff. I've learned how to film a lot of things, doing editing, and then Brian come down. We met Brian when he'd done his tour.
Was it January or February? Come down.
It seems like so
cold,
far, but
sure.
Yeah, it was definitely cold. But then he got me more involved, and he started showing me. And then, like I said, with people in the team, they would get more involved in it. And now it's like last night I went on an investigation. It was absolutely brilliant. You really get that bug for it, don't you? And it's just sort of, I've never been so. When Sarah first started it, I've got no problem with the paranormal field whatsoever. But you go through a stage in life where you think, do you know what, this is not real. When you watch it on TV. And not being rude to people that do it, but sometimes you can sort of see it's sort of staged what they're doing, in my opinion. And I apologize if people don't agree with that, but then it sort of puts you off because you're like, well, why would you do that? If you see what people are doing on TV, you can see they're staging it. So then I started doing it, and some of the stuff, and I've sent you as well, Jen, like with the EVP recordings and stuff that I've picked up along the way. And you can't explain how it's happening. It's
great getting the guests involved as well, because then they become the paranormal investigators.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you remember that time when I come back from Manor Farm and we woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was a small hand grabbing your foot, and then it grabbed my foot, and we got up to see whether the children were up, and no one was up.
They were asleep.
And we slept with the light on all night. We shit ourselves, didn't we?
Yeah, this was.
Do you know what? Any investigator, right, that says to me they've never been frightened or they have experienced anything that don't frighten them, they're a liar.
Yeah.
See, and I have been called so many.
Yours is just going to the toilet.
I think people, if they was to say being in the paranormal is a set of emotions, and last night was a prime example. We did an investigation at Fort Whitley in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
And a gentleman, I'm not going to say his name just in case he's watching because it was very personal, but a gentleman come along and he was a skeptic. He didn't believe in it whatsoever. So he was going through the motions. And I think he was doing it because his partner really enjoys it.
Yeah.
We were in one of the side rooms. So basically the tunnel goes right down and then it starts splitting off into different rooms. We all started talking, and what we started doing was with the spirit box, we started introducing ourselves. So, hi, my name's Nando. And each person that was there, if there's a spirit here, can you tell us your name?
Yeah.
And then the spirit box come out with the name of this specific gentleman.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, that's my name. And I was like, okay. But then it started saying his name over and over again. And then I was like, okay, so if you want to speak to this gentleman, do you want them to go in a separate room on his own? Can you set the cat ball off? Because we put little balls out there. And the cat ball started flashing.
Okay.
Anyway, so he goes in. You can see he's starting to get a bit nervous now because he's like, well, something's going on here.
Yeah.
So he went in and, okay, this gentleman's in there. Do you have a message for him? Yes, it's Dad. It's clear as day. It's Dad.
Oh, my.
And then he was like, okay. He said, look, we always ask permission because when it's something personal, you don't want to overstep boundaries. So we said to this guy, are you happy for us to continue? He was like, go for it, but don't say the person's name directly. He didn't want to say his dad's name. So it was like, okay, so are you here for him? And it come out and he goes, it's my boy.
Oh, bless.
And then it went on and said, okay, where are you? And he was like, behind you. And as the voice come through the spirit box, the gentleman felt someone pull his hair, like very gently, but like a tug of his head. And then he come out, and then I was like, "Is there any other messages?" And he goes, "I'm sorry. Think about what you're doing." And this man, and do you know what? I felt like crying with him. He had to leave. He started crying, like he got really emotional, and you see the emotion. That's what I mean. Like if people say that it doesn't affect you emotionally, it doesn't scare, it's rubbish. This paranormal does make you feel different emotions. And for someone that come in and said, "Look, I don't believe in any of this," for the rest of the night, he was sat there trying to, take in everything that had happened.
Yeah. The messages. He wouldn't accept. He wouldn't tell you what it was about because it was too personal.
No, it was personal. And to make it, to validate even more, other names come through. So his sister's name come through, his partner's name come through. We didn't know, and the more that was coming through, you see the emotion. And I think, it does make you feel different emotions. And if people say it doesn't, I think you can't be true to the paranormal, because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And like I find, and I said this to Jen before, that you can go to a location with members of the public, and that night will be for them, because it may be the only time that their loved ones will be able to get through, because like you say, they're skeptics, so they don't want to know. Definitely. So it's that. So it is. It's and it, like you say, it's fantastic, changing the mind of a skeptic.
And you could see he went, and he come to us before he went home last night. He goes, "Look, what you guys did tonight was absolutely amazing. I definitely want to come again." And it opened him up to ask questions. Do you think this could happen again?
Yeah, your loved ones follow you around everywhere, don't they? But it doesn't mean that other spirits are not going to come through as well, because if you're in that location, they're there, aren't they?
Yeah. I do believe
that's their line, wasn't it, of communication for him, like, which obviously may change his whole view of the night that he had with you, because he then, and that's essentially, he was then working with you guys on an investigation. There's nothing better, is there?
No, and the good thing about it, they can see it's not staged. They can see us setting up the equipment. They can see us, standing with them. And I think, and I've got to be honest, out of the whole evening, that was the most activity we had for something like that. And it was very strong activity and personal. And then the rest of the evening, it just sort of died down, and it was just great.
Do you think because it was his first time investigating, and his partner is into the paranormal, and it was his first time investigating, that he needed your help, and his dad needed your help without you guys knowing this?
But the energy, they drain the energy, don't they? So they can help, especially if we're all giving our energy freely. Because we start off with like have you heard of the light? It's a seance, but it's also like a protection chant. The light that you bring through your head and down, it grounds you. And we'll hold hands. And when we say to the spirit, whether you believe it or not, it's always good to have protection, isn't it? Yeah. And so and then it helps to harvest the energy and draw the energy in, and for the spirits to use that energy as well. So I think that probably did add a factor for them to be able to help communicate.
Yes. I pulled the faces when you said about protection, because when I do an investigation, I don't actually, before we start, I always ask, if we're with the guests, we say to them, "Do you want it?" And they ask us what it is, and we explain it. Me personally, my team, we don't do it for the simple reason, like we find, if you put protection around you, spirit, how are you going to get that full experience with spirit if you've got a bubble around you that's protecting you? And I trust my guides enough, to know that they wouldn't allow anything bad anyway. So we give our public a choice. We've even done experiments where you've done half with and half without, and the half without come back and gone, "Can you take it off?" We're like, "Okay," but it's individual choices. So that's why I pulled that. Like, some people go, "You need to do that," and I'm like, "No."
I think it depends on the people that you're with. It's like you said, you give the option. I personally feel from last night, if we base it on this gentleman and the fact that his father come through, I don't think whatever we did, a seance of, a protection chant, that spirit was going to come through. And like I said to the gentleman, I think he knew that his son was vulnerable. He's come out of his comfort zone, you know,
Yeah.
and I think that automatically opens you up a little bit, because you must be intrigued about what we do. For you to come and want to spend 6 hours in the dark using equipment, you're intrigued. And he was out of his comfort zone, because a lot of people knew what they were doing. He didn't. And I think that opened him up more than what he anticipated.
Yeah,
So,
and I think the chant that we use, it's like a beacon, and we invite the spirits into that space, and we invite them to use that energy. And it's just a way that it's just something that we've done through the group, and with our guests, we don't want to feel like we've just brought them in naked, you know, going in bareback, riding the ghost hunt, and it gives them a little bit of comfort. But if they don't want it, they don't have to have it, like you say.
Yeah.
As we live so close, I might be able to join you you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh,
you know, I think that's the beauty about this field as well, is, you know, we've learned different skills by different people. Like when we met Brian and Lex, you know, and it's just great to share each other's knowledge. And there's no right or wrong answer in what we do.
So when we do the Ouija board, I do not get involved with it. I'll open it up with them and show them how to use that and stand there and monitor it. But I will not touch the planchette, because I feel I don't want them to think that I'm influenced in it. Not that I wouldn't. But then it's all, whatever comes through, it's all down to them. And same with tabletop. I do sometimes I show them how to do it, but then I do like to get them round, and then they all do it themselves.
Yeah. What about the planchette? Have you not looked into the planchettes that you can get, that you can, the slightest bit of pressure, it will tip to where that pressure is coming from. So if someone's manipulating it, it will literally tip.
No.
I'll have to get mine out, and I'll take a photo, and I'll send it over to you. You can get them on.
Yeah.
But
then that's because then you can sort of see if people are like mimicking the planchette.
Yeah, and it is
really I watched it this morning, and I can't talk too much about it, but I've seen it being used by a team, and I'm that person. I don't even watch paranormal shows anymore because I can't afford a new TV. Because I will throw something at it, because I'm screaming at it, you know, critiquing it, like, oh my god, and I'm like freaking going crazy with it. But I did see a video this morning, and I actually had to take screenshots of it, because it you know, was just mind blowing. Like, oh Jesus, I can't even continue on about it. It was mind blowing. You could see the fingers were bent on it, and you could, instead of your finger on it, it was like pushed down or bent. I don't know. It was silly. I worked with Tracy in Leap Castle, and I like the way Tracy works. I love the way Tracy works, and it was nice that I could sit back and watch her do her thing, and that I could, you know, just chill. It was good, actually. It was nice to do that. How far are you from each other?
Essex, what, about an hour and a half?
Yeah.
It's not far at all.
What locations have we got close to you guys?
Well, I'm sure we can find one quite easily.
Yeah, we can do it. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah,
definitely.
Oh, come on.
I've got my own team, and then I work with a second team as well. And they're more like scientific based. Have you heard of Ghost Club?
No.
Right, so they've been going like 150, 200 years, and they're all very scientific. And it's, you know, you take a photograph, they take it, and they run it through everything. Oh God, it's all scientific.
Well, that's the case, Tracy. I photographed to send you.
Yeah. I mean, my friend sent me an EVP that her dad had from when like they lost their mum, like going, and it was back on an old cassette tape thing, and I emailed it over, and they was like, oh. And and they literally ripped it apart. And I was like, how was you doing that? And they was like, it's this, it's that.
Okay, so I think the one that he's thinking of, so basically we went to Fort Whitley, same place as I was at last night. And Brian was like, Nando, come on camera. I think this is what he's referring to. And he was like, don't worry, just be cool. And I thought, okay, so I'll try and be cool. And went to stand against the wall and put my foot up without realizing there was a big fireplace behind me, and I fell through it, and they caught it on camera. I think that's what he's referring to. So my first opportunity to get involved, I make myself.
there
There you go. That's what
you have to play those pranks on people.
Did anybody get a video?
It was that one moment to try and be a cool dad type moment. And then everyone, I thought, still play it cool. No one's caught me. And before I knew it, everyone caught it on camera and they're watching it. And all you see is me put my foot up and then I fall right back into the fireplace.
Your new name is Del Boy.
Yes. The bar incident. That's why I like that. But no, it was a good laugh.
Yeah.
It was good.
Brian, do you want to send that video on to me?
Bloopers.
Oh,
actually, talk about falling down, Brian. We've got a good one of you, haven't we? And we all laughed. He said, I could have been seriously injured. No, you guys was laughing.
Yes. I think there's a number of bloopers from all of us, isn't there? So
yeah,
me and Jenny and all from when I was over there.
Oh look, Brian's gonna send the video on to me. Would anyone like to watch the video of Del Boy?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I think it was funny because we were at Fort Widley last night and Dan started playing it to the guests.
How did they know?
Yeah, so it was amusing.
That's
Yeah.
Steph and Tracy went and left Castle, and we were the last two standing. We were up at 7 o'clock that morning because Tracy was over with me for the weekend. So we woke up at 7 o'clock, and we got to sleep when we went home the next day about 5:30. We were the last two standing. All the boys went to bed. So we got to the point of we were past the point of making, past the point of being sane.
I think we was.
We were delirious. There was an apple tree, and Tracy thought it was a tennis ball tree.
Well, no,
what are you on?
it wasn't. It was so green, but instead of saying apple, for some reason, tennis ball came out instead. And then there was this tree, and it was. You couldn't see the leaves for blue bottles on it. The whole tree was just full of flies.
Oh.
Jen, all of a sudden, I was like, this tree, like all these flies. And Jen went next to me. Yeah, they live there, and pointed at this little house thing. And I went, what? The flies live there? She went, no, you plonker. The owners went, but we was just talking about the flies.
We were so stupid. We were like, 28, 30 hours a week?
Well, I got over to Friday morning, and I think I had about 2 hours kip before we went to Let Castle. So
yeah, I was shattered. I was so shattered. There was a lot of fun.
62 hours non-sleep, wasn't I, by then?
Remember one of my, this is like on the way down, and we were kind of tired, and we stopped off for food and whatnot, and I said, right, I'm going to try and get some sleep. But one of my nails came off, and I'm like, oh, for crying out loud. So one of the boys went into a competition, a nail salon, and down the country somewhere, I don't know where we were, and just said, could you put a bit of glue on that for me? So he runs in with my nail. Your woman just kind of he was saying, can you put some glue in that for me now, please? And she's like, what? So he runs out with it, holding it, and it gets stuck in his finger. And I'm ripping it off. I'm ripping it off his finger, taking the skin with it, and stuck it back on my nail.
And then after that, we was supposed to go somewhere else, but to be honest, the two of us were so shattered. But we had to stop and get a drink as well because I was in the back of the car, and me and Jen had tattoos the day before. Mine was on my leg, and I was squashed in the back, in the middle, and every time a bump went, you imagine I was hitting my head, my back, my tattoo was rubbing in. I'm like, oh. So Jen goes, right, we'll find somewhere a little pub or something that we can stop and get a cold drink, whatever. Well, we pulled into this village, no word of a lie. I looked, and Jen goes, it was like, oh, look, it's like Emmerdale. And I said, yeah, look, there's the kiddies flip flops running over to get daddy from the pub. Something's happened. All of a sudden, she turned around and went, it's like the Dingles. I went, yeah, good one, Mandy. So she was Mandy Dingle. And then all of a sudden, there was just this almighty crash.
Yeah.
And I looked at Jen looked, and I just see Jen's face. And the one of the lads that was with us had smashed a glass. It just literally fell out of his hand.
Just fell out of his hand. I was there with Brian falling, but me falling down that hill. I hit that tree.
Yeah.
He went over like a sack of spuds.
Yeah. We went to another location, and
mausoleum in Bursledon,
and we were filming. And as he was walking, he tripped, and To be fair, it looked like he had rugby tackled the tree because he
tripped.
landed right into it.
He was like Bambi on ice. He was skidding all over the show, and then he just nearly. I thought he was going to lose some teeth on a gravestone that was on the floor bit. He was that close from losing his teeth out of his head, and so
it was one of those moments that you laugh and then you realise actually he has gone down
he was
quite
quite
hard.
angry actually that we were laughing at him when he could.
Do you know what?
His bloody neck.
He brushed it off, and you know the good character that he is. He had a laugh afterwards. You know, bless him. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Gregory, come on.
Gregory. You couldn't cope with us two. We'd eat you alive. Oh no, don't answer that one, Gregory. Rewind that. I never said that.
I'm a saint. Tracy gets me into trouble.
Me? You get me in trouble. You get me in trouble. So, favorite bit of equipment. We'll change the subject.
Equipment.
We use it all, don't we?
Yeah.
Because I do like at the moment there's this vibration detector that Jojo has. And it's like you can mixture with the technical stuff with the Victorian method. So when we do some table tipping, we would put this little box on top of the table and it detects any sort of vibrations. And when we was in, was it Wimmering Manor? It was Wimmering Manor, yeah. There's something that happens upstairs. There's something quite nasty upstairs. But when the table moves, the lights go off. But it never before had a tapping sensation, and the thing was tapping on top of the box and making it pop with the lights. So it was like not having the audacity to move the table, not just move the table, but you know what? Sorry, I'm going to tap on top of that box as well. And it was brilliant.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and we were talking about audio. We were kind of swapping audio and whatnot, and we were talking about residual and intelligent, and I know some people's like, residual and intelligent, so on. There is a bloody difference. There is a difference.
Yeah.
There is. No matter what anybody says, there is. So what we were talking about, one of his audio was that, they were asked, the question was asked, what do you need from us? What do you want?
Yeah.
What can we bring for you or whatever? And then you can hear someone saying, water. So then we were talking about, so do you know you're gone because you want water? Or you're still, you've passed over, but you want water. He probably doesn't know that he's passed over. I don't know. I think it was in a prison or an asylum, something like that. So we were just talking about that, and I don't know how I jumped into that, but there you go. Jennifer jumps from thing to thing. But when Tracy was asking about equipment, what is your favorite piece to use, like your go-to?
My go-to, I've got to be honest, is the SP7. It's the Spirit Box. I think, it's a tool that it measures on wavelengths. It goes through like stations, and when you're getting stuff that is very key, like unique, we were at an investigation, Burslem Brickworks, a couple of weeks ago, and we had the Spirit Box on. And nothing was happening. So we start doing we just start talking amongst ourselves, because sometimes that triggers a spirit. I do believe that sort of things. Well, wait, you're here to try and communicate with me. Why are you talking about something else?
Yeah.
So they make something happen. Well, we were talking, and then out of nowhere, my name come through. Now, my name's very unusual. You're not going to hear Nando come through, and it's very clear as well. So the SP7, I think, is a fantastic tool. Spirit Box is a really good tool. The other thing that I'm willing to be open with is Necrophonic as well. It's an app on the.
I've seen it being used. I have. We used it in one of the locations. We used it, and I've seen another team, and I actually went and downloaded it myself.
Yeah, and the app is designed to throw out a lot of words, and I appreciate it. It's just part luck sometimes. But then we were at Oxford Castle recently, and we put it on, and the first thing that it said, "Be gone." It didn't want, we were sat in one of the prison cells, and it said, "Be gone." And then we asked, "How many spirits are here with us?" And immediately it said 3. Now, at this point, I will be clear. I always put my phone on flight mode, so it can't pick up any kind of signal. If you're going to cheat the system, there's no point sitting there for hours on end.
Absolutely.
So we put our phones on flight mode, so no one can signal in or anything like that, and it come through very clearly and very quickly. So yeah, they're my go-to is the Spirit Box.
I do love a K2 and using at the same time a REM pod and having them either side of the room and see if the spirit can set one off and then ask it to set the other one off. And I think that's quite, you can get some good answers to questions out of that.
Mr. Brian Nichols Laverty.
Yeah, I was watching a show Brian was on, I think it was last week, and
is it not Matt? Is that a Matt comment there?
Could be Matt. I don't know who it is. I was watching the show, and I don't know who said it, but it was his nipples were part of that show.
I do remember that coming up. I think it was...
We can top that at Portal to the Paranormal when he was doing his filming. He'll nudge me.
Oh,
ask him about if he's flying low.
Is it the zip? Yeah. But Brian was saying that I think, well, we were all saying, like, you know, he has a female, you know, admirer, you know, he walks in and it's always up, but, you know, when he leaves, it's down. Or just tonight, it's down. We have, what, like a succubus?
So he started his filming, he can't film like that. And me and other colleagues were just laughing and giggling. He said, "What are you laughing at?" And I said, "Well, you know, you might want to sort yourself out before you start pressing the film button."
It was a good laugh, though. It was good.
Who is that? Yeah. Oh, Brian, are you just coming back in now after what that conversation was? Was it?
That's it. You know, if you're going to fake it, there's just no point.
No point.
I'll be honest. If I'm going to be with a group of people and I know they're faking it, I'd rather sit at home with my boys and spend the time with them. You know, it's a shame because it puts a bad stigma on everyone.
We say we'd rather they have a dead night, excuse the pun, than anything faking going on. If nothing happens, nothing happens.
No,
it is.
I mean, I went to a group once before, and like we split off into two groups, and a bit later on they came. Well, like we met back up, and I was like, "Well, how's it going?" And they was like, "Oh yeah, we had the table, and it was like literally running around the room, and it was doing this." And I was like, "Wow!" I said, "Well, maybe when you go back," I said, "if you try it again," I said, "like I'd love to see it, like because you know I'd love to witness this table running around and you know going everywhere." But yeah, went back. Bearing in mind, we had cameras set up where they was. So I went back and they was on the table. Nothing. So they turned around to me and went, "Oh, it must be you. They don't like your energy." I was like, right. I said, but my energy wouldn't affect that because I'm not on the table. I'm not in your space. I was sitting right back out the way.
Yeah.
Watch. And no. And then when I went back over the footage, they didn't even have the table moving. And I'm like, you don't need to big yourself up and make out you had all this stuff going so that when people say, we want to see it, then sit there and say, oh, it's your energy that you don't want to work for you. Yeah. I don't get that.
If I have suspicions that someone's pushing anything or I'll ask them, do you mind just taking your finger off it for a minute just to check something? Or you know.
I knew they didn't have that table running around. I knew it. Do you know what I mean? But it was like because it was funny it was everything was going on when they wasn't with people that knew, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was quite okay, mate.
I'm doing it with the Drogheda Museum Millmount. They're doing events for Halloween and whatnot. So you know, what did I do? What did I say?
So you said.
But there's a fabulous full moon out tonight. It's lovely. But so we had so I've been asked to go in because it's a location that I've been doing for 6 years, and I've been asked to go in, you know, for the end of the night where I can do a session and call out. So it was great. It was good. And I think the first night there was about 8 or 9 people that night, and then last night there was 30 people. I can sit here and talk in the camera, no problem. I just can't be in front of 30 people looking at me and expecting, you know, things to happen. And I did say, this is not TV. It's not TV. If you get something, brilliant. And if we don't, we don't. Yeah. They're not performing
monkeys.
Absolutely.
And you know, it doesn't mean that what we do is kind of like hocus pocus, deep, you know, silliness, because I could sit there and go through hundreds of audio with them.
Oh.
They wanted to. But I think last night things came through, but when me and Alan were kind of going through the playback in front of everybody so they can hear, we do audio sessions, so we do playback on the speaker so they could hear, if we get any. I think one or two people were messing, and it was just crap. It was not good because it's kind of taking the piss out of what we do. And like as Alan said, there's phones off. We take Millmount extremely serious. We take every location serious, and it's kind of making a mockery out of me, and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So nobody wants to do that, and that's why I really don't do public events, because I just don't want to, and I like to keep numbers small. So it's, when they think you're not real when you're doing it, okay, come to my house, or come to anybody's house who does audio, who does after work. We don't do it because we're kind of like, oh, I'm going to prove, because we know we will get something. And if you have a quiet night, that's okay. Nights that we don't know what nights are going to be active, but I wish the ones that didn't believe would join us. For more periods that they can come believe us.
Absolutely.
Sometimes the best evidence is just sitting in a dark room, everyone quiet, and put your EVPs on and do a bit of calling out, and then stuff happens, doesn't it?
Yep. And like what Nanda was saying, when you sit there and just have a conversation with each other, and just leave your recorders on, leave your devices or whatever you use on, and just have a conversation, have a cup of coffee, have a conversation. It works. When I say it works,
I get my guests to share their paranormal experiences, what got them interested in the paranormal. And they all start reeling off these ghost stories. Everyone gets in the mood because they're all spooked out, and then stuff happens.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. I mean, that happened with me and you though, Jen, didn't it? Like when we was over in Let Castle, and it's.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
But I think that's where people start from. I think everything starts from a personal experience. Like, to get into the paranormal, I think everyone that's involved in this field is because something's happened to them personally. One of the things going back personal is we used to live in the house in Eastleigh in Southampton. And I'll never forget, I was sat in the front room. Sarah was in bed. The three boys were all in bed. And the front door had just opened. Right. Yeah. And I kid you not. And I am very adamant. I know I was awake because I've never run upstairs and jumped on top of Sarah so quickly in my life. It was literally run upstairs. My grandfather come into the front room, and he'd been dead, nearly 7 years at that point. So it wasn't, and he come in and he looked like he was a very dapper person with his smart clothes. He come in
Italians alike.
With his having his rolly and everything, with his licorice paper, and he come and sat next to me and smiled at me. He didn't say nothing, just smiled at me. And for a split second, I thought, this is great. And then I realized, and then he sort of just vanished. And I was like, wow, that going back to having the emotions, a wave of emotion was like, did that really happen? Oh, I'm a bit scared now. Oh, I'm a bit emotional. So I run upstairs with Sarah. And it's amazing, isn't it?
I think they catch you unawares as well. I mean, I don't claim to be psychic or like that can see all the time or anything like that, but I do find they like to get you when you're in bed, don't they?
or with me,
I don't know.
I hope not.
Mine, the worst one for me, like you say, your granddad. Mine was, I'd just been and done a private home, and I was on video call still to one of my team members. Like we was talking, and my daughter, she's special needs. She was still awake, and all of a sudden we heard this female voice go, "Come on, Clobo, bed." And mum mate went, "Who's that? I didn't think your mum was looking after." I said, "It wasn't my mum." And I looked on the monitor and I saw my nan. I was like, and my mate saw it, like, because she's on video call, and I'm showed her the monitor, and I run down the stairs to my daughter's room. My nan was there, and you know what? All I could do was touch her, go like this on the face, and go, "I can feel you. I can feel." I couldn't say nothing else, and as quick as that, she was gone. And I phoned my mum up. It was 2:00 in the morning.
Wow.
And I was hysterical.
I think when it's the one that surprises you. It's the one that surprises you. And I could write a book.
Yeah.
And at the moment, and I want to talk about attachments as well. At the moment, I am genuinely seeking out help. And I spoke about it last night, and I don't talk about it often, but I'm at the stage now. It's heavy. It is very heavy, and I'm saying this in live, and I'm that person that is actually looking for help. But I really, really am at this stage. I'm at the brick wall, and I know a friend of mine, and it's gosh, I don't talk about it. But this friend of mine that's going to get someone to contact me because there's pictures I sent him last night. Because we were talking about attachments in my name, and I've sent him 3 different pieces of audio of my name being said. But it's a man, but is it 2 different men or man that's in my home? That I sent him on video footage. I think I sent it on to you, Nando. I'm not too sure. When I was doing on a show, and my name was said, but no one heard it, but I heard it. And
yeah, I think you sent me audio, with your name in it, and
it's constant. Even places I go to for the first time, I say my name. It's constant. It's actually it's depressing me a little bit, to be honest with you. Even my cheeks are going red even talking about it. I'm at the stage. It's emotional.
Are you getting little drops of water just dropping on you from out of nowhere, whether it's summertime or wintertime? Because that can be like a manifestation.
No, but I swear to God, I was sitting here last night, and I was on the video call, and I was rubbing my dog, so my collie. So I seen this, and it's like I'm very much for debunking until I can't anymore. I'm all about it. I'm not the one who jump and say, "Oh my God, look," and that's it. That was something. I have to debunk it. So this one, I was talking to my friend, and it was about this length on camera. That just came from behind me and went up, and I'm like, oh my God, like, because if the camera's on you or the lights are on you, but it's not, I don't know what light that is. Oh, that's Chantel. But it caught my attention. But my name is said in every location I go to, and I know I go to repetitive locations, and you do get a rapport. But my name is said in my house, on my lives, on voice messages I leave. People think I'm going crazy. I think I'm going crazy. And I have photographs. And I sent it on to my friend last night, and they said, no. And it gave me goosebumps. I'm not okay with these pictures. You need help with these pictures. And I'm like, let's make something big out of it. I got emotional by voicemailing or texting. I'm like, and I actually said, this is going to sound really bad. I said I didn't want him to go because I'm used to him, or I didn't want him to go because he protects me, but that's not it. That's probably not it. And I didn't want him to go because he's company.
You've got used to having that sort of, in a way, it's a bit of company, isn't it?
But I'm getting lightheaded, even talking about it. Like I feel in my room, and I'm thinking, oh my God.
No, but that's what I said to you. Like, you could have one that is protecting you, and let's just say family. I know that maybe that's not what you want, but on the other hand, you could have it. You could have a second one there, Jen, that is giving you that bit of oppression, so that you could have the 2.
I don't know, but I'll send you the pictures afterwards because there's other people in the picture. So I'd have to crop it down. But if I had done that earlier, I would have been able to put it up. I probably still could.
Have you tried saging out your house and telling it to get the hell out? It's all about territory, isn't it? Do you want to do that? Or
I do want to do it, but there's also something in me that doesn't want to do it. I heard him saying my name out live, and I have audio of it. And I was looking for it to send my friend last night. And when I was sitting here doing a call out on my own stupidly, and he said my name, and you'll hear me on audio, and you'll hear him on the audio as well. But I heard him out in real time, and you can hear me saying, "Did you try and say something? Did you just try and say something?" So I heard him. He was like over my shoulder on the left side, but listen, send help. I need help. It's driving me insane.
I mean, I have been to Jen's. I'll be honest, I didn't feel anything threatening. Not when I was there.
If you get energy from electricity and whatnot, could you put the kettle on in the morning for me and stick the heating on? You know, in the morning, you know,
Be useful.
Ask it sometimes you get.
I know what I did, and you're living rent free and whatnot. But if it's okay, I'll send you on the pictures afterwards.
Yeah,
definitely. I think spirits will. It depends on how you take the spirit as well. It's, you know, I do believe sometimes I don't claim to be a medium or anything at all, but there's a few experiences that I've had over the last year. Like last year, I had a blood clot, didn't I? Do you remember?
Yeah.
And I was really ill with this blood clot, and I was they sent me home, and then I had to go back in. But the night that in question, for some reason, I don't remember saying it, but I said to Sarah, my granddad said everything's going to be okay.
I went, right, that's it. I'm getting your mother.
And it was funny because I had an operation a couple of days before, and the first thing I woke up to the nurse, and the first thing I said, and I think I said it to you, I woke up and was like, I was in the garden just now with my Auntie Rose talking to her, and she had passed away as well. And I do believe that those two specific people are always around me because I was very close to them. And
when I worked in an old people's home, it's funny you say about the garden, because there was this one guy who died and they brought him back, and he said that he was sat in a garden, a beautiful garden, on a bench with his wife. And it's like a reoccurring thing in the afterlife that people present themselves in a garden. How strange is that?
Yeah. I'd love to see what the garden was. Like just a peek. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just
that peak of that. I mean, like my dad, he had a massive heart attack a few years ago, and to be honest, we didn't think he was going to come back from it, and they paralyzed his body, so that he couldn't move. And as me and my mum was sitting there, one of his eyes opened. And the nurse went, it can't. We've paralyzed his body. And the other nurse went, no, it literally did. It opened. She was like, so this nurse just pooped, like, no, it didn't happen. And then I looked at my mum, she went, what? And I went, that ain't Dad laying there. And it looked like my dad's dad. It literally, my dad's face. And I went, whoa. I went, all right, Pops. I said, you've had Dad over there long enough. I said, like, you've seen everybody. And now we want him back. I said, like, you know, and you've seen us now, like, swap over. And that was the thing that my dad said. He was sitting in a garden, but he kept thinking he was in Wales.
Wow.
Don't know why Wales. But
what is it with the garden?
Don't know.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just strange.
Similar experiences.
Yeah, but then they say God's garden, didn't they?
Well, you know, when you have dreams or whatever, and you leave your body and then you come back. My dream was about a garden, and this when I lived at home and we had bunk beds, and I was on top bunk, and I had a dream about I was passing, I was saying goodbye, and I was in my front garden. It's a big garden where I grew up, and there was people standing like, you know, where a chessboard is lined up.
Yeah.
Like that, lined up like that, but they were all men in grey suits, a bowler hat, but no face.
Oh my gosh!
I know, right?
That's some flipping.
That's a bit.
That's some Slender Man shit going on right there.
Yeah.
World. And then, so when I woke up with a sore throat because I was crying, saying goodbye to my mom, saying goodbye to my twin, and then when I was going up to the sky, it was white. And I pushed my hand through the clouds, but it was flat, as if it was my ceiling. Then I woke up.
Another strange experience I've had happen 3 times. My son had the same thing as well, Reese, my oldest son, is that whispering, like 2 people having a conversation, but in a different kind of language, or just in tongue or something like that in the corner of the room. And also in my ear, like had my auntie in my ear, and I can recognize her voice, like she's in the telephone. and she's right in my ear. Also at Manor Farm, I had Sarah whispering in my ear. And have you ever had that kind of experience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
And last week, and my daughter, I was sitting here on my computer, my daughter was with me, and I looked at her and I'm like, yeah. And she goes, nothing. I said, but you said Jenny. Oh. And now I'm beginning to get, like, when I was doing some shows during the week and I could hear this, and I'm like, I used to say, it's cool, it's happening again. And now I'm kind of like, please, no. I'm at that stage where I'm saying, please, no, please, I don't want to hear it again. All I get is Jenny. I get no other sentence, just Jenny. And even my face is going red with the stress of it, but it is driving me up the walls. And I know I do what I do. Gosh, I just can't even talk about it. It's a lot.
Yeah. I think doing this sort of field there, you're sort of inviting things to, I believe spirits are very intelligent. Some of the responses that we've got and the way they work, I think they know what they're doing. And if they want to attach to you, they will. And I think we're inviting them every investigation that we're doing. You're opening yourself up.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people get. Sarah's had things that have happened. Like she come home from an investigation once, and we heard footsteps running up and down, like the kids were running up and down on the landing.
Yeah.
And we go up and have a look, and they're in bed. And I think naturally, if you believe in it or not, when you're doing the paranormal, you open yourself up, and along the lines, you're going to have an interaction with the spirit when you least expect it.
Yeah, I tell my guests, when you leave this place, always say, any spirit people, you must stay here. You are not welcome in my home, and mean it. Really,
that's what I was just going to say. Like, you do your protection when you start. That's what I was just going to say. Before you leave, do you shut the session down? What we do is when we fit, because obviously if we don't have that protection at the beginning, at the end of it, as we finish the night, we go around each room or each area and shut that area down, and then we shut everything else down, and then everyone in that was there. And everything in there stays there.
Yeah. But then, do you think, just to ask you a question now, the both of you, right? So I get what you're saying. You're shutting the. I believe in what they do. The seances, it protects people. It makes people feel comfortable. You feel grounded. But then I do also believe, and I don't know if you guys are going to agree, sometimes the spirits are stronger than what the seance is. They could push past those barriers, and I still think the spirits can. And I'm not saying what you guys do. I believe in it, but I think sometimes with chance, even with religion, it only goes so far. I still believe there's spirits out there that are stronger than what the chants are. Do you guys feel that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I do. I mean, even like the living, I'm not being funny. Like they say, there's always someone bigger and better. It's no different with us and spirit.
Yeah, I do believe that.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at it. This is, Jen, I'll teach you how to tell it. Yeah, Chantal is teaching me Afrikaans, and I mail her every day in Afrikaans. And there's some things I can say and some things I can't. Really good. She was watching the show last night. We were watching the show, and I mailed her. We were mailing each other in South Africans. But I will. But Google Translate is great. But then she will break down the words, and so I can pronounce it. You've got to roll your R's. So I'm not even going to try and say it now. Okay, we're going to try that. We're going to try that and see what happens. But do you? We're talking about attachments. And I was reading up on it last night of attachments and why. And everything I said why is everything that I am. Really, I'm vulnerable. I'm going through a very stressful time, and I touch walls. I touch the walls of locations I go to. I really put my mind into it. I'm not just present as a person. I put my mind in it. So why? why of attachments? Why do they attach themselves to you? What do they want from you? Do they need your energy? Like the sleeplessness, the insomnia, the tiredness and fatigued, they're feeling low. And I know I had a really bad last weekend, but I'm just feeling low and it's getting heavy on me. And yeah, I'm getting fed up with it. I know, I think Chris asked me, did I ask them what they want? Every single time. But now I'm just saying I'm going to ignore. And I'm even afraid to talk about it now because I'm in my living room, but I'm kind of get to the point that I'll be boxing. What the fuck? Okay, we're done. Diane saying, not being disrespectful, can you leave a porthole open with you not about it? I think you can.
Not being disrespectful, can you leave a porthole open with you?
I think it happens every time you try and connect. Well, I don't know.
I think it's the strength of the spirits that you're dealing with. I think it's sometimes
there's things that have walked this earth that aren't human, isn't there?
Well, that's good. Then you're going into a D word there, like something demonic, and I think me and Jen had a sort of conversation about this, didn't we? About demonic entities, and that's going into a different kind of.
Yeah, I guess so.
Do I believe it? There's got to be. I don't believe. I believe there's evil spirits, but I believe they're evil spirits that did live on this earth,
or grumpy ones.
But I don't think. I don't know if I believe in like demonic spirits and
I think
things that are not.
Maybe portals. There's only an idea of like. Are they in ley lines or are they in certain areas where a lot of paranormal activity occurs because they're coming in and out? I don't know.
Right. If you think about it, every time we work with spirit, we open that portal to allow them to come through. So
I know. I think that's
we do. It's that we are opening the portals to work with them.
Changing my ways as well of investigating is to cleanse myself, because it could be a build-up of 15, 16 years I'm doing this and I've never cleansed myself because I'm thinking, this is what we're looking for. This is what we need. And I think it's like, if you don't, if I can say the word empty, clean out yourself.
Rubbish,
like take the trash out or cleanse yourself. And I have never done that. Never. Now I'm at the point now, rent is due, you're not paying it, get the fuck out of my house.
That's the way you got to look at it. Like, I'm not being funny. You wouldn't have someone just walk in your house and just plonk their backside on the sofa, would you? You'd be telling them to get out.
Yeah.
That's what
you'd be like, seriously, foot down, you're done, get out that door. So don't be no different.
Yeah.
My collie is a great dog, and he's always with me. I think he's on the couch behind me. I don't know if he's beginning to feel sick, but you've seen him as a part of the show. He's never stood up his feet up here and put himself on me. He's my shadow. Like, he is. If I go to the bathroom, he's at the door with me. I leave the doors open because he comes everywhere with me. But last night he was trembling. Toby. Last night he was trembling. He was shaking, and I'm like, "What the frick is wrong with me? That dog is my baby." And tonight on the couch, he was on me, and he's never, of all the shows I've done, he's never done that. He's never done that. So
he's not been eating acorns, is he? Because they're very poisonous to dogs.
No. He's with me when he's out with me. He's no more than 7 feet away from me. Like, and he'll always stop and come back to me. He's just like, gosh, he's like, I'd be lost without him. So I don't know. And then I seen him getting up today in his back legs, and I'm like, oh shit. Toby, do you want to come say hi? Come on.
You need to open the window. Is the window open?
Yeah, this is open because I'm flashing. Do you want to come say hi, Toby? He's Toby. Come on, go say hi. Let me see. You're very happy now.
Oh, look. How cute.
He has the wobble syndrome, like he has CH. So he looks like he's drunk. Tutu. You okay? Oh God, this cat is one of those that will have his moment and attack. He's had his
do that to Ray, and he didn't, did he?
He did attack Ray. So, oh no, Diane, that's totally okay. That's totally okay. And let's blame social media and TV for shows for spreading the demonic word.
The D word.
It's a hard one. Like, you know, when you're listening to the shows where they're saying a demonic energy that's never actually been on this earth, you know, that's a big. You know, there's no actual proof that there is these demonic. Well, in my opinion, I know people have written things on the internet, but it's easy to write stuff. But for me, I do believe strongly that spirit, every interaction we have with a spirit has to be something that was on this earth. And a lot of people most probably disagree with what I think, but it's just my opinion is, you know, for them to be able to communicate, they must have been on this earth to understand.
I think they get mixed up with them earth spirits as well, you know, like in the woodlands and what are they called? They're like entities.
Elementals.
Like wisps and elementals, yes. Yeah.
I was on a show last night and Jenny brings up religion.
Oh
God. Yeah, I did. Oh gosh, we went off topic. We're talking about past life regression and whatnot. Of course, Jenny brings up religion. Because we're talking about purgatory and mental health and whatnot. And oh Lord,
kind of worms right there, isn't it?
Great. People had a lot of. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one that thinks the way I think. Toto, hold on. So I know Nando doesn't like the religion conversation.
It's not that I don't like the religion. It's a hard one because bringing religion into it, you know, it can be. I think we had a conversation when you come on our show, didn't we? We brought up religion, and we're Catholics, you know, Roman Catholics.
Yeah.
And the thing with religion is they tell you what you should believe in. You know, they try to dictate to you, and you know, certain things.
They believe in spirit, but they don't want to help you when you got one in your house, do they?
You know, it's sort of goes so far, and it's.
And they say the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, and you're thinking, oh God, like.
Yeah, you know, and they believe that, you know, Jesus died on the cross and he rose again and he touched people and was like, you are now healed, but you tell them you're a spiritualist medium or a spiritualist healer, and they're like, whoa.
Yes.
Edna and Ray Warren were deeply religious Catholics, but one of them was a demonologist and one of them was she was a Catholic and she was a psychic medium. But I do believe you can't conquer something unless you learn from it. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to learn from it and understand it.
Yeah. I mean, people say to me, how can you do all the work that you do? Like you do your paranormal, you run a spiritual church, and you don't believe in God. I was like, just because I do all that, don't mean to say that I believe in God. I went like, you know, you tell me what God is. And they was like, I'm like, well, like that, like spirit for me, like, yes, I've seen spirit. For me, I've seen spirit, so I know a spirit exists. I mean, but I've never seen God, if that makes sense. I said, because God's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
I you know, do I believe that there's stuff after we pass on? Yes. Do I necessarily believe it's like this, what they, you know, God and all that? You don't know because there's no physical proof.
I want to believe in a higher power, 100% I want to. But then I'd like to think that, you know, what about reincarnation? That would be great. Just jump into a new baby, bang, you're back on the earth, you start all over again. That makes more sense,
that's
doesn't it?
Like that film, innit, that Robin Williams done, What Dreams May Come.
What dreams may come.
Yeah. You can hang about for a bit, and then when you're ready, you just start all over again.
I had to be carted out of the cinema after watching. I had to be carted out of the cinema after watching that. I never watched it again because it just kills me. But we were talking about reincarnation last night, and they were saying, what happens if that bright light is you being reborn again? And I said, well, I'm crawling back up. I'm not doing this unless I come back skinny and rich. But yeah, oh God. They say you have different options. Like you can be an earth angel, you can be a guardian. I have chosen I'd like to be a guardian angel, because I did say it, I don't want to leave my children. Who does?
I would have said the same thing. If I was to come back, it'll be something that I can just watch over my boys, make sure they're okay.
Oh, God, that Gregory one.
But yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a person, and she's very religious. That's okay. I know I'm not Gregory. I can't with it. But and she's very, very religious, and she goes to church every day, and that's great. But she does not believe in the paranormal at all. She thinks it's wrong, and she thinks it's bad to do, and so on. And I understand her point. I do. I'm beginning to know. And but I have said to this woman, and I said, but I have a lot of people will take the audio, a lot of people don't. You know, if you're genuine and you work really, and you're very passionate about your work, and I know I only have the best of the best on, that we are passionate about our work. I see people mailing me saying, can I come on? And I said, no, because it's just not passionate enough. Yeah. And so I said, I can play audio for you. You can tell me, pick a location, I'll play audio for you. And it's kind of like, no. And like what Tracy was saying, like, has anybody seen God? I'm sure they have, with operations, and they went over and so on and so on. I said, we have documentation of evidence. We really do. Anything we have is coming from other people that you just can't say it. It's a double-edged sword, as we call it. You know, it's frustrating. I think I'm going to retire.
Like you said about reincarnation, though, like, you think some of these kids and some of the stories that they've read, like where the kids, and they're like saying, oh yeah, but my mum lived up here and we had this family, and you're just sort of like, and then when they do go back to it, they trace it back. Yeah, that family was there. Yeah, there was a little boy there that died with those injuries or that illness. And you're just like, wow. It is like, some of them are fantastic.
That's a nice comment.
That's Gregory. Gregory is funny. Gregory is funny. Yes, and some of them are very funny.
I think the key element with everything that I do is, first of all, is the family is the most important. But just touching on when you were saying about paranormal people thinking it's wrong what we do, you know, and I respect that everyone has an opinion, but is it really wrong? Because if the spirits didn't want to communicate with us, they wouldn't. Exactly. So they're making a choice there, and it shows that the spirits are intelligent, you know, enough to make that response. But they can choose to not, you know, communicate with us. Then the other thing is the way you go into these investigations. You know, the most important thing, and we always say this to everyone we speak to, is respect for the location.
100%.
Respect for the people that are there. You know, even the people that still work at these locations, respect them, and respect the history. If you're going to go in there, you know, and be
we've had guests swearing,
you know, swearing all the time,
you're not coming on anymore.
Absolutely.
That's where we go wrong in the paranormal. If you're gonna be that type of person, then you should be doing that. You wouldn't go to a person standing next to you and start swearing at them to get a reaction, would you? No. It's the same with the spirit. The spirits are clever, you know, and I'll say this to anyone: the spirits know what we're doing. They want to be spoken to with respect. You give them that respect until that barrier is broken by the spirit, and they do something that upsets someone. You know, then you got to look at a different way.
Yeah.
But just, you know, refine it and say, look, this is not on, back off now. Never be disrespectful. And I think that's what makes a paranormal investigator.
That's it. And regardless of what the history is, or regardless of what had happened, you know, you're going to antagonize and you're going to provoke. I goddamn hate, sorry, did I say goddamn? Sorry. I hate when people provoke. Stop it. It's stupid. And you're like Billy Big Balls until something happens to you, and then you're
crying like baby.
Your balls up inside you. And now who's Billy Big Balls? Not you.
So talking of spirit, like, and choosing like them communicating with us, do you think that in some way that spirit may have chosen all of us to go on that journey, on that pathway, to do this learning with them, to do this communicating with them?
It depends who turns up on the night, I think. So if we went into Manor Farm, you're going to have people there that worked the land, people there that lived and died in the house. Maybe a little boy that drowned in the river or something like that. They're all going to be, well, not necessarily, but they all could be possibly around that area. So if you go into that environment, wherever spirits made that their home, their likeliness is they're going to rock up. And also people that with your guests, say if you went with guests or people with you, they're going to have their guardian angels or their spirits, their relatives and things like that following them around as well. It's happened.
But what I mean is, like, for us as investigators and mediums, whatever, like we're choosing to go into locations and learn about spirit and like what they are all about. But are we really, or is it them like we were saying, reincarnation? Did we already choose, do you reckon, to come back and learn this pathway?
That's a good question.
Spirit themselves of like, well, this person, like they've chosen us as individuals to take that pathway and learn this journey of communicating with them and doing what we do.
I sort of believe that certain experience that I've gone through have led me to go down this path. I think I've sort of been guided in a way, because before, like a bit like what you're trying to touch on there, seeing my granddad, that was very clear. And then Sarah was always into it, and then she got involved. And then, like I said, we formed Portal to the Paranormal in 2021, and that was my opportunity to really get involved. And I think with everything that we do in life, not just the paranormal, there's a path that we're set. We're meant to go through different experiences.
When it comes to your work life, when it comes to people that you
personal,
love.
And some of the stuff is
that's
not.
why I'm stopping doors 24 hours a day.
I videos, and you're like 2021, and I've watched your lives and so on, and it's professional. And I will say I have watched many teams who've been in the field many years, and I'm just like, whatever. You just know. Some are really good, some are brilliant, but I find when I watch it, I'm not just saying it because you're here now, but I love your lives.
She says something different when she's off camera. She says something else. Like,
I think the trick is
we know her trick.
Doing it all from Victorian methods to the electrical and the science side, and doing all these little tricks. That's what it is. It's just getting it all out and doing all the experiments as many as you can in that location. That's what it's about.
And I think the other thing with all of us here tonight, for example, we're real people. We're doing this. We're doing this. One, we want to help educate people. People have an experience that they can't understand. They come on investigations to learn. A lot of people do come to generally learn, don't they?
Yeah.
But I think you just got to be real about who you are as a person, and just let it flow naturally. Like I said, I do believe we're on a path, and we're set to be tested throughout life. And as we go on in life, what makes us the people we are today. And I think me and Sarah, and being part of this paranormal team, Portal to the Paranormal, we were destined to be part of this great team and do the crazy things that we do, because it ain't normal.
It is a thrill seek as well. But it's also a learning experience.
It was like one year Sarah said, look, we're going to go out for your birthday. And I was like, what we're going to do? We're going to go on a paranormal investigation. And this is before I got involved in it. Remember, we went to Withering Manor. And it's great. And I think me and Sarah, especially Sarah, she was meant to be a paranormal investigator. She is good at what she does. Me,
I put 100% in.
I've just started putting my big boy pants on and started to, get more involved. So yeah, it's great.
I do find I do find that it is the men like that we've come, like my team personally have come across is don't believe in it, or it's all. But then when you get down to the nitty gritty, I found with a lot of men, it's because they can't physically see it. So it means they can't physically hit something back if something hits them.
Well, the other thing is they're scared of it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
To be honest, I was scared of it.
Yeah,
because you're stepping into the unknown. Like I'm talking for myself, not any other man, but for me, it's like I know stuff has happened, but actually going into it and actually wanting things to happen, that's a big ask for anyone. It's
But like the guys, like one of the guys on my team, Mike, that's what he always said. Like he used to be worried about doing it because like he was like, no, because you can't see it, you can't, you know, and he's saying, it's me, what am I going to turn around and hit back? You can't hit that. And then it was sort of like, yeah, I sort of get that. Like there's that male macho thing, like, you know, I said, but like, is it all about being a male macho, or are you genuinely scared of the unknown?
I think
said, it's just like our women have got better big girl pants, and you know.
I looked out my window there and I saw my reflection, and I frightened the bejesus out of myself. I didn't show it, but I was like, I looked away. So
he was the same. Like my husband, he was the same. Like I got him into it.
But maybe this is the wrong way of looking at it. Men in general want to show not dominant, but they want to show that they're reliable. You know, you want to protect the people that you're with, don't you? You don't want your emotion or your vulnerability to come out. And I think going into this, you know, it does cause you to be vulnerable. And especially if you're a proud man, you don't want that vulnerability to come out and people to see that. So it is a big thing for, especially if someone's proud, to come out and then do this sort of thing when something can happen that you're least expecting. Like the gent last night, you know, I felt for the guy. He come in, you know, he was like, yeah, I'm up for it, but I don't believe in any of it. And then before we knew it, he was crying. And he had to have his partner and her mother come, you know, sort of cuddling him and saying, it's all right. What's happened is normal.
I think that helped with the healing process as well, though. Yeah. And give him some clarification.
Yeah. That's a good.
So basically, Nando, what you've just said, right? For women, men expect women to, you know, if you get these emotions going, you know, these tears and these, like, you know, these emotions, if nothing comes through, whereas men, like, it's that macho front again.
Yeah, I think that's what it's like. I'll be honest, you know, with other things, you don't want to show weakness. As a man, you know, the way I've been brought up, I'm here to protect my wife, my kids. That's my role, and I don't want to show signs of weakness. But then I've learned in life, sometimes to show that vulnerability is a good thing to show. You know, I do care, but I think a lot of men don't think like that. I wear my emotion on my sleeve. You know, I'm very like in tune. If something's upset me, would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But then it's made me a better person because it's allowed me to express myself, and then we communicate better.
I think that's where us as paranormal investigators or those that work in as psychics, that's where we can all say we do have those emotions. We're not afraid to show those emotions. And I think that's where we all get our bonds from.
That's it. I know, and I'm afraid. Like when I say I'm afraid, I'm not afraid, but it's the unknown. It's the touch. It's voices in your ears. It just kind of makes you jump and thinking, oh, God, but that was good. You know, that's fine. Yeah. And I know what Tracy's saying about us all being together. Like it was the first time ever I've actually opened up about how what's happening is beginning to affect me. The beginning was like interaction, brilliant. You know, let's find out who this is. And I'm not finding out who it is. And I think I'm at my end that I'm saying, right. And I've never asked for help, like ever. People are telling me, you know, do this and do that. And I'm like, I want to, I'm scared, I don't know how to do it and so on. And now I kind of need my creme de la creme paranormal people to say, who can help me and who can...
You want to know what it is, don't you? You want to know what it is and what they want.
They're beginning to be kicked out.
Yeah.
Have you heard me? Look, kicked out. Hello.
Yeah, to them now.
I think the best kind of evidence is when two people see it. Your mum and I was having a conversation in the living room, and we both saw this thing with a mop of hair and a red shawl run into the garden. And it's happened a few times throughout the family with this red shawl and this thing that this human being that walked, well, it looks like human, just runs through the house. But when we both got up and walked and went into the garden because we both saw it. So when two people see the same thing, I think that's when you think, wow, did that really happen?
Yeah.
That's brilliant that you said that, because I know many years ago I was doing a location up in the north of Ireland. I've been doing location for many, many, many years, about 7 years or something like that. Every single week, or every single month of every single year, we did this location. Toby? God, drive me crazy. And we're sitting in the car. We were late to the location. The team were already down underneath the vaults. Toby, shh, hold on. Kids, honest to God. And anyhow, so we're sitting in the car. I know the location so well, and I seen a solid black figure, side profile, the short hair, the nose, the mouth, the chin, the neck, down, shoulders down to the waist. And I'm watching this solid black figure going from right over to left. And I said nothing, and I'm kind of registering it in my head, like, what did I just see? Well, my friend who was sitting in the car with me said, oh my God, did you just see that? And I looked at her and I said, huh? What did you see? And she said, leg and waist walking by. And I said, oh, that's great. Put the key in the ignition now. And she goes, why? And I said, don't ask questions, just do it, Shaggy. And I locked my door. And I kind of leaned in really close. Now, this is my brave knee. So I'm kind of leaning into my friend. And I have a pain in my eyeballs because I'm going like that to the side because we heard the stones crunching. Jesus. But that was my only time of is my camera, am I freezing?
No.
Am I freezing?
No. I'm drawn in.
Really? Oh my God. Why am I frozen?
You're not frozen.
I'm frozen on this side. I think my computer.
Oh, you are now.
You're frozen now.
Really?
No, come back again.
No,
Are you
back in the room.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's happening on this side. Because I said that he's being kicked out. Now is he affecting my stuff? Sorry, you're not. You can stay another week. Look, I see I'm frozen here, but it's kind of like
No, you're not frozen. Yeah, no.
Okay. Am I good now? No, I'm frozen.
Yeah.
No, you're not frozen. We could even see the dog walking, jumping off the sofa behind you.
Okay, because it was very weird on this side.
No, you're right.
And now you're coming over to me. What's going on in my house? Tracy, can you sense anything?
You're gorgeous.
Can you sense anything, Tracy? See, I put all these together now that my computer had frozen. I heard a buzzing sound here. He gets off and comes over to me. It's something, because I said you're being evicted. Oh my God. I got that. It's okay. I totally forgot what I was saying there now, guys. Oh yeah, I think about the what we've seen up in this location up in the north of Ireland of the full apparition. Oh, Brian, really? I look at this dog. Is he?
No.
Oh, he's love of you.
Oh, he's just. Oh my goodness. And he's 11. I got you. Love this boy.
Oh.
And he is a big lump, so especially to have up like that.
Is something happening? You protect your mama?
Oh
my goodness! Look! Oh my goodness!
Reminds me of Trixie.
No, you know now that she thinks that this is all happening because she's saying this. You know that she's not going to let none of us go off now, didn't you?
You're not going to sleep.
What are you doing for Christmas?
She'll keep us on chat all night long now, so she don't have to go off.
My girls are here. Brian, can I rub your question here? I want to rub Brian's question. Look, which one? Oh, Sasha. You love Sasha. Where is she? Oh, she's here. Sasha's here. Look, can you see her?
I love Sasha.
Oh.
Brian, I'm going to rub your question, and I'm sure you've been asked this before. Location. Oh, I probably have asked this before. What would be your number one location to go to? Of all the locations, and so on, I don't want to ask the same question, Brian, because Brian will kill me. Of all the locations, your number one, and I know we probably have about 20 million of locations we want to go to. What is the number one?
Is this the ones in the UK that we do, or like dream location?
Dream location.
Dream location.
Yeah, if money was no object.
Money was no object. Right, I'm taking this one down.
That's what Brian said. That's Brian's question. You know, so if money was no object and you can go anywhere in the world, where would you go? And that's a question he asked. And I said, Brian, I did ask you. Now he's saying copyrighted.
Right. I want to get a camper van, and I want to start off in old New England. I want to go to the Conjuring House. I want to go to like the Lizzie Borden house, maybe Waver Amityville. Then I want to go up and might drop and get to see old Kent Brewis at the Ghost of Carmel, Maine, maybe. Then go to Salem, and then sod it, fly over and go to New Orleans and go to all that stuff around there, or maybe even go up to Mississippi. And
Damn, girl, we're gonna get
American tour. The American tour.
Yeah.
Oh, that's I only said one place. Now I want to say a lot more.
You said money was no object.
You know what? Should we do? You know what is it? Gordon and Gino and that do all that, don't they? They go together.
Gino, Gordon,
right,
and
Tracy, Andrew, and Sarah. Off we go.
Get that camper van, girls. We could do it entire. We could have a little map with all the lines drawn where we're going to go.
Do lives and let everybody watch us from home.
Oh yeah.
Home with the kids, the ladies that got on our trip.
Yeah.
I'm packing.
Yeah.
The one that I'd love to go to is Lizzie Borden.
Yeah, love to.
What?
Did she get her family up?
Did she?
There's a film on Netflix. No, is it Paraflix? Paraflix film on there about it. They reckon she might have. She was possessed. They reckon.
I heard. Well, I. This is what I've been watching on the TV, and well, TV tells the truth all the time, doesn't it? That the father had abused her, and she. Well, what happened, Brian?
I love it when I'm kicked out of my own page.
Kicked out. probably she said copyright. I think if now this is going to sound really bad, and I've said this all the time. I think the father had abused her, and was going to go for her sister next. And when he was asleep, and the mum was asleep upstairs, and he was on the couch, that she had done away with him, because he was going to get the younger sister next. And I support her.
Yeah.
I support her. It's like Aileen Jones. Is it Aileen Jones? Oh no, it's Eileen something. The movie.
Oh yeah.
The movie is oh shucks, what's the movie?
Oh yeah, because she was the one that went. Was that the same one? The one that went ran the men that abused her. She. Yeah. Aileen, isn't it?
Eileen. Do you know the ones I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh.
Let me see if I can find it. Eileen Warwick, isn't it? Sorry, I just want to get this name.
Aileen Wuornos.
Yes, that's her. And she was had a really bad childhood, and she went on. Basically, she was a serial killer of men. She was a prostitute, and she, one man, ended up raping her, and another person, and she was having revenge, and she was kind of doing this, and they put her to death for it. She didn't have to do what she did.
Oh, the Suicide Forest. Yeah, Brian, I'm with you. I'm going.
I'm taking these two to Suicide first one day. Oh my God, can I come?
That's the Suicide Forest in Japan.
I promise I'll stop talking.
That's one place I've always said that I want to go to, isn't it, Jen? Is the Suicide Forest.
Yeah. I don't know if I would.
I
don't know if I would. I totally got off topic. See the way I'm like Billy Connolly. I go from one story to another, and I always go back to where I started off. Like, really? I say it. What about you, Nando?
Do you know, to be fair, there's a lot of locations that we've done, and one of which was 30 East Drive in Pontefract. You know, I know people, but I've seen it's been televised so much. I wanted to witness it for myself to see if it is as they said. So we managed to, we got the opportunity to do that, which was great. But the other one that I would love to do would be in Romania, Dracula's Castle in Romania.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
You know, there's two guys on TikTok. Dan Sprague. I don't know if you've heard of him. He recently went over there, and it looked great what he did, and the location looks phenomenal. You know, just walk up to it. So I'd love to do that.
Even though it's fictional, the story of the guy that was there, the history of it, I think some of it is truth, isn't it? Is it Vladimir?
And it would just be good to find out for yourself. And I think.
Do you know, sorry for interrupting you. There is a fantastic guy who I had him on my show. He was a good friend of mine. I had him on my show. He is the inside out book of what's his name? Falad?
It's not Neil Story, was it?
No, it's another guy. And I had him on the show. And I've been friends with him for many, many years. Fantastic guy. He's about 7 foot, and he's like, he talks like, you know that song, "Baby Lock Them Doors and Turn Them Lock." His voice is that deep, just talking. And y'all got to hear me sing just a little bit. And I'm going to give you his name after the show. I'll give you his name because he's a fantastic guy. If you want to talk about that, I found out stuff that I never knew. And God, he's an encyclopedia when it comes to that. Look at this, Brian is throwing this in, Brian. So, we talk about the global ghost hunt. Nah, let's move on. I'm joking, Brian. Don't sack me. The global ghost hunt is what it is. It's a global ghost hunt. We're looking for teams. We're looking for locations to sign up. That's the link to sign up. Merchandise. You'll get advertisements. We will be helping you out whenever help you need. It is starting in May 2023 for 10 days, and it will continue again in October for 10 days. But you know, closer up to time, there will be more information given out. But that is the website to go into it. Oh, that's brilliant! Another team signed up this week. So we're looking for teams. Now, Sarah and Nando are one of the supervisors. I'm a supervisor, so you can contact any three of us. There is Patty, she's a supervisor as well, but all those names will be given out, and we are promoting the videos of who you can contact for help for signing up, and we will give you all the information when you do. But teams have been signing up, so that's awesome, and it's a great bunch of people that we work with.
And it's a good opportunity to showcase your team for what you guys do. It's all about, you know, you're sharing it yourselves as individuals, as teams, and you know, you're learning off each other. And I think it's a good way to, without all the drama, you know, this is good. There's no drama involved. It's all about people just getting on, having a good time, and showing what they can do. Yeah. So definitely having a look.
It's brilliant. And then you have me, you have Sarah, you have Nando. We're part of it. You have Brian, who's in the chat there. He's part of it. And there's fantastic people. There's Lex as well. He's in it as well. And it's just a lot. We have TikTok videos out. We have Twitter videos out. We have Facebook videos out. So, yeah, working a lot behind it in the back scene about it. What time is it now, lads? Because I think Sarah, not Sarah.
25 past 11.
Okay, because we know we started late. So, where can people find you on Facebook?
Portal to the Paranormal, www.portaltotheparanormal.co.uk for our website.
I'm going to write that up for you guys.
And then you can just Portal to the Paranormal, the Facebook page, and then TikTok as well. We're doing a lot more on TikTok as well.
Doing really well on that.
So it's _ Portal to the Paranormal, and then _ again, and then you'll be able to find us on TikTok.
Yeah.
And on there you see a lot of the clips of stuff that we've uncovered on our investigations.
So www.portaltotheparanormal.co.uk. Okay, I'm going to put see how I'm not
as well. We've got a few events coming up, and what's next one? It is Wimmering Manor in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Duel of Portsmouth, should I say? It goes back in the Domesday book. I think it's like 16th century, maybe 12th century.
Yeah, it's
really old. Used to be a massive old manor house, slap bang in the middle of a council estate.
Lovely. Do you know it? I did.
I can't tear it down because it's so old, but it's a lovely.
Oh, what's it called? Oh, Gosport Explosion Museum.
Yes.
Have you done that? You've been in there?
No. We haven't done that one yet because we found, part of what we do, we want to uncover as much of the history as possible. So you go back to the same location because the more you get, the more you understand the location. But what we're doing now, because we're coming into a new year, we're starting to get a lot
Venture
more
out a bit.
bookings. We're getting a lot more new locations. So the 1940s tea room.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good location.
Guildford College, because that used to be an old workhouse, didn't it, years ago, I think. Merley House. Where's the other one that was going to go? Oh, we did Basildon Brickworks not so long ago, but that was full of history.
But yeah, we've got a lot coming up over the next year for guests.
So Basildon Brickworks.
Brickworks.
We've got Margam Castle in the pipeline as well at some point. We're still trying to negotiate on that.
So yeah, we've got a lot coming up. And the 1940s tea room is do you know, it's funny, that building, the actual location itself, I don't believe is a haunted building.
It used to be a butcher's and a baker's, didn't it?
Yeah, but what the lady's done, the owner of this building, she's turned it into like a tea room, but it's like World War based, so all garments from the World War and things like that. Wow. And I think she's had a lot of stuff donated to her where there's attachments to specific items. And we did an investigation one night where Lex, I think it was Lex that asked the question, were you in the war? And all the equipment on the table went off, and we're talking about a REM
jacket on, didn't he? He was wearing
the jacket as well.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing location, absolutely brilliant location.
Wicked.
Do you think would be Trace? Do you think things would be attachment to objects?
Oh yeah, I think they definitely harbour paranormal energy. Like we went to the Haunted Antiques Museum in Hinckley, and
the booby.
Nando and Dan nearly killed themselves. Let's put it this way, because under this glass cabinet was an ornament that had. Go on, you tell a story. What was this ornament?
It was weird. So basically, this guy he's opened up a museum, but it's all about haunted artifacts.
Neil
so
Packer.
Everything he's got is related. Anyway, so
all these rooms.
We're going through these rooms. He's got one room with loads of dolls. One is like the World War I and World War II, and then there's this other room where he's got things under these like glass shields. And there's this weird figure, like
Female
she's sort
figure.
of like doing a pose, and she's naked, sort of thing. And he was like, "Yeah, this particular item, if people break it, they end up breaking a bone themselves, or they have an accident." So everyone went off, and me and Dan.
Do not touch.
Yeah, so this is bad. This is more. Yeah. So me and Dan were left there, and we were looking at this doll with a bit, and she was like, "Shall we touch it?" So we both rubbed the feet. Immature men, I get it. But the next day, we were driving down the road, coming back to Southampton, and you know what?
It was a crossroads on an old village, like it was a crossroads, wasn't it?
Yeah, and this big Jeep come whooshing past. Dan managed just to get across the road without getting hit, and we just broke in time. Like literally, heard the wheels squeaking, and we all got out of the car and we were like, "What's that to do with that doll?" Because we touched it when we knew we shouldn't have. And we got out of the car, we were white as ghosts, and then everyone had to go at us. You know.
So when you say "do not touch," you literally do not touch.
It's like it entices you. It's like having sweets and no one's around. There's loads of sweets out. You want those sweets, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like
if you were ever in Hinckley, also there's the Festival of the Unexplained. That will be this year as well.
I've seen that. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it last year. But then Hinckley's around the corner, so you can do that and do a Festival of Unexplained at the same time. So it's roll into one.
It's a bit of a struggle for me to be able to do much because, like my daughter and that, like I'm a 24-hour carer, so
Yeah.
So I do get to go out, but it's not as much as I used to, because she used to go to a day centre, but that got stopped, and I'm trying to get her back. But she's been home with me now for nearly 5 years, 24/7.
She's set in her ways. She's used to having that.
And like at the age of 24 and twice the size of me, you know, it's not fun. She's an epileptic. I was supposed to have gone out yesterday to Bristol for the day. She had other plans, and
she
didn't go.
Did. One thing before we go again, my favorite thing, audio. What is your oh my god audio?
My god. Not saying it's about my name coming through. That's quite an oh my god thing. Unless the spirit's saying that they want to order a Nando's chicken, you know, that to me is quite unique for my name to come through. That's quite cool. But I think any kind of voices that you're getting through is just great to, to use a radio, like a sweep of a radio station, and to actually make out a voice. I think any kind of audio is absolutely brilliant, and I think last night must have been one of the best that we had through Spirit Box, and and that was absolutely brilliant.
PvP wise, I haven't really had much, but on the Spirit Box I've had in Merley House. So that's actually when Lex were there. They were off in another room, but we had this little boy come through, and it was a child's voice on the Spirit Box. Mummy, Mama.
I've got that audio.
You've got it, have you?
I can send it to you guys.
Yeah, and there's a big story about that in Merley House, because he's the son of the woman that worked there, and you know how they like to interact with the help, don't they? So there's a big story around that.
Would you interact with him? Like, can you?
He was talking to us. He was making lights flash and everything. He was following us around all night. But it was a child's voice saying, "Mummy, Mummy."
Oh, bless.
But now I'm going to ask a question. Is it a child? When they say, no, I'm joking, but when people say, no, if you have a child and they're saying mummy, and you're like, because for women, we'd get very
maternal.
And we will want, to say, oh my God, what's wrong? What's wrong? But I know the location I go to has 2 little children, a boy and a girl. And we love them. Oh my God, we love them. They're fab. Because they're new, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're new to us, and we bring gifts, and we can hear them looking for candy canes and whatnot and games and so on. So I'd love to hear. Is that the audio that you have, Nando?
I can fill out. I've got loads of audio, but there's one. But I think because I'm doing like a big video to stick on TikTok and everything, and that's on there because you hear the voice come through, and it's very distinct. It's a very childlike voice. You can hear
it's a beautiful house,
and then you hear everyone like really going and it's quite emotional.
That's the kind of things that I like. Those the fixtures and the fittings and the old like kind of Downton Abbey kind of style things.
Yeah.
At work.
Yeah, really it sets the scene, doesn't it?
Yeah, sets the scene.
I think it's like one Jen, because some locations I do with this other team, they're not on the paranormal radar, so we're not allowed to give details out. But it was one that we went to, and a couple of days before, I was saying to Jen, do you know what? You know that song Daisy, Daisy? All I kept hearing, and it was driving me mad. And I'm going to Jen, I keep hearing this, and I said, I think it's where my boys just told me he's getting married. Went to this property on the Saturday night, massive place, and I walked into this room, and it was like a music box playing with that tune on it. But then all of a sudden, as I turned around, there was like a little 4-year-old girl wearing a wedding dress, but I see her go from 4 in a wedding dress, growing taller, and I couldn't work it. But the song and all that is originally to do with this little girl, but she had to marry to own this thing, this property. It was like, wow. But yeah, to get there and hear the music box and like, that was good.
You see the willies, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh God. That's for sure.
So do you guys want to stay on, and then can I send you on the pictures if you have 5-10 minutes to stay on?
Yeah.
Talk long, and Brian, no, I won't talk long.
I love a fun house. Me.
Oh, we've got to get Gregory on sometime.
Yeah, I love a fun house. I'm a scare actor. I love mirrors.
You do.
Scrying.
Yeah, so we're going to say goodnight because I know we're going over time, but I was late. Jesus, I'm late for everything. But guys, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate
Thank you for having us on. We've enjoyed it.
It's been an honour. Thank you.
It's been great.
I look forward to getting together with you sometime.
Oh yeah, definitely. It would be great.
We'll send you our events list, and you can see which one you might be closer to it, or you can make.
We travel all over. I mean, like England, that we go Scotland, Ireland, Wales. So we're quite open to going wherever.
Brilliant.
Well, we can definitely arrange something, and like we've got loads of locations that we can go to.
Chris, I'm updated.
We'll see in the new year. I'll go over, or you guys can go.
Yeah.
And
I've had the Irish are too much to deal with, so we'll skip that one.
No, shut up. No, it'd be lovely. It'd be amazing.
Get over here onto English territory first.
Definitely.
Listen, I'm coming over. I'm coming over.
Well,
what?
We could definitely do something. We've got I don't know if you've heard of them, Paranormal in History, Scott from Paranormal in History. So we've got the Scottish side, we can do the Irish, and then we've got us down here. So it'll be a great group.
Scottish as well. You've seen it when we went over the English, the Irish, and the Scottish together.
Yeah,
that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Brilliant.
And it was brilliant. And I took Tracy to a few places. I took her to a church, and I could see her beginning to singe, so I had to take her out. But yes, Scott was saying that he's going to come over to Ireland as well. So I mean, let's book Lep Castle.
Let's make something happen.
Let's been in Lep Castle before. I would love to book Lep Castle for all of us, for the teams, and spend the night in Lep Castle.
I'll be up for that.
Oh yeah,
that'd be so fun.
So we'll
have you guys done Harry's Readout at all?
No.
That's the one I want to get Jen into. And when she comes over
again,
Harry's Readout. It's fantastic. If you different experiences, and you can do a full 12-hour night. One of our favourites.
Well, Gregory, Google now and have a look at it.
Right.
So.
You're gonna have a look.
I'll definitely come with you. It's It's not expensive either, by the way. And you can do 12-hour nights there.
We'll be booking for next year. Hold on, lovey. We'll be booking for next year. Make a date of a month, and get together and do something.
Yeah,
I think that'd be amazing. That'd be great.
It's like a 45-minute flight, or maybe a 3-hour boat journey for me.
No, you're going to fly over here, Gil. I had to fly to you first time. You can fly over to me. Never been on a plane. First time.
You're right once you're up.
I've been enough to know. I have a book called Conquer Your Fear of Flying, and I haven't read it.
Ryan says he's coming again next year. I've just seen that. Oh, that'd be awesome. I'll get the dates in. We can all do a collaboration.
That would be
yeah.
I think that's something in the pipeline there. Something that
I think so. That's wrong. Huh?
Chris Carl, I said to him, Chris Carl, keep your ears open because Chris works for me.
He's coming with Patty Adams.
Yeah. Awesome.
So this could be something really good then. This could be really fun.
Will be.
I was doing both UK and Ireland, where we can save. I don't know how long they're coming over for, but you say one weekend I can go over.
Well, last time Brian come down, I think it was quite extreme because we were doing like a location every night. It was like it was real.
We pounded it.
It was like hardcore paranormal.
Yeah, and I had to go to work at 6 in the morning and still do that.
And I
We
think
did
by
it.
the time we come to the last investigation, I think part of us were all dead, weren't we? We were.
Yeah.
But it was great fun.
Oh, George Gregory says he's coming too.
Oh, look at this.
Like,
Bring the
The
Yankees.
English got a way of bringing them in, haven't we? Look.
Yeah.
We have the Irish, the English, the Canadian, the Yankee. Oh, we're gonna cause
Oh, yeah.
trouble.
The
Yeah.
Italian. I'm the Italian part of it.
you're a only token Asian.
So
There we go. There we go.
we got.
Sarah,
That's
what's your
mix.
Heinz 57 variety, me. German, Jewish, French, Irish.
Oh,
Good mix.
That's it. 11.
United Nations in the corner over there.
That's it. Brian just said 11 investigations in 14 days.
Wow.
Oh, I'm up for that.
You know, so it was
love that?
it was really good as well.
I'm not even answering that one. I like the candles, yes. I like the Yankee candles.
I was going to say something there and I completely forgot because the cat is kind of driving me crazy. There was a story, and I'm going to say this. There was a story that Tracy wanted to read out.
No, we leave it for now.
Do it later. We'll do it later. We'll do it in the background. We'll do it in the background.
Yeah.
But right, we're going to go. I'm going to say thank you.
for running right over.
Thank you very much for having us. And it's
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you as well, Tracy.
Lovely to meet you,
Thank
Tracy.
you, guys. Yeah, definitely.
It's lovely to get to know you.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, she's fabulous. I love the way Tracy works. She's like my sister from another mister. She really
It's always lovely to speak to Jen as well. The mouth of the iris. You know,
just in the
can't
corner.
quite go wrong.
I'll give you a slap for you later, Jen. Don't worry.
I'm in the corner with my dog.
And yeah, you've even made me famous over in Millmount now. We've
I did. I'll send you that video and I'll do the video in the background. Zach, mummy loves you. Go on down to second.
Oh,
look at that dog.
I love it.
What a baby.
He
I don't know what
is.
Trixie's
I
done,
mean,
actually.
like,
Yeah, but,
Right. Then come on, because you're going right over.
I know. Zach, mama down for a second. Good chat. I know. You see that kid? I love him.
Oh.
You know, yes.
Absolutely.
No. Brian, we're going to go into the background for like 10 minutes if you want to jump in with us. Let me know if you want to jump in. I'll send you the link. But we're going to say good night. Thank you, Nando and Sarah.
yeah,
It's always a pleasure talking to you. And we talk always like every day or every week, you know. So I'm delighted. I just was excited to have you on tonight.
Thank you so
no,
much.
thank you for having us on. It's been great.
Oh, we loved it. Brian, there you go. She's up to say goodbye. Thank you for watching.
Bye, everyone.
I'm going to bring us into the background for Tickety Boo.
I suppose Gregory ain't asking for the link.
What?
I suppose Gregory ain't asking for the link.
Oh, my face. I will. Okay, right. I'm going to come off this. And I know Brian loves my dog.
No, she's good.
Right, Jennifer, shut up. Okay, bring us into the background. Thank you for watching. Back on again next week because there's no rest for the wicked.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.